What's going on, foul players? It's been a while since I've been out here. I've been out of town doing something totally different. I drove a 68 Camaro about 1,600 miles in 5 days with my good buddy Matt on Hot Rod Power Tour. Totally different hobby and waste of money than what I'm doing out here today. And I am in the Dove field where we planted Browntop Millet 3 weeks ago, end of May. And it's looking fantastic. So we're going to talk a little bit and do a little bit of management of this field today. I have mentioned in the past that cocklebur is a major problem here, and that's what this broadleaf plant is right here. As you can see, let me get a little closer just to make sure you can see. I have a really bad swatch of it through here. In fact, it's kind of shading out the millet, which we do not want. So we're gonna work on that today, and we're also gonna give this millet something to eat, a little food. So let me head back over here to the four-wheeler, and I think step one is going to be doing a little broadleaf control. So stick with me, and I'll show you what we got going on. All right, step one today is going to be broadleaf control. I'm using a herbicide you guys have all heard of before, I'm sure. In fact, you've seen me use it. I used it back in April to clear broadleaf weeds out of the big hole where I have millet planted for ducks. We'll maybe see that later. But this is a broadleaf herbicide. It's safe for use on your lawn, on grasses, pastures, things like that. And it is safe to use on millet. I sprayed it on the rice and the barnyard grass, which is a millet that was coming up kind of volunteer in the big hole, and it didn't hurt it, but it killed all the broadleaf stuff. So that's what we're working on here today. I did a little research, and we want to actually wait until the millet is at the 4 to 5 leaf stage before we apply that, and I hit it just perfect. A couple of the smaller plants are still only 3 leaves, but I picked a few others. We'll go look here in a second. I'll show you what I'm talking about. But I picked a few others that had 4 to 5 leaves on them, so I think we hit it just at the right time. You do need to be careful with this stuff. I sprayed this on my lawn this year, early spring, because had some broadleaves were getting out of control. I didn't kill the Bermuda cress, but I certainly hurt its feelings. So don't overdo it. I'm only going to do half a quart. I'm going to do 16 ounces for an acre. They recommend 16, a half to 1 quart per acre. I'm going to go lighter because I can always come back and do more if it doesn't kill the cocklebur, but I can't come back and plant more millet if I kill that. So I'm going to go 16 ounces per an acre. I have about 16, a little more actually, gallons of water here in my sprayer. So I'll put 16 ounces in here. I'm also going to add a surfactant. I don't think this has one. So a surfactant, you know, it smells like detergent. It smells like cheap dish soap. I think that's kind of what it is. What a surfactant does is it helps break down the plant's kind of waxy protective layer to allow this stuff to soak in through the leaves, which is how this type of a herbicide works. It has to make contact with the plant's leaves. The plant absorbs it. It interrupts its biology in some fashion, and it dies. So that's what we're going to do. Measurement on this, I just dumped some in. I don't know the right ratio. I don't think you need a ton. And this, like I said, will be 16 ounces. So let me get this mixed up, and we'll get to spraying. All right, you can kind of see here, this one has, the bottom leaf here is kind of dying, but we're in that 4 to 5 leaf stage. 3 big healthy leaves. I picked some others that look better than this one. Starting to make that leaf coming out of the top. This is about where we need to be. That plant's about 10 inches tall maybe. Some of them are less, like I mentioned. I don't think that's going to hurt them too bad. The rice and the barnyard grass I put it on was not this big when I sprayed the 2,4-D on it, and it didn't hurt it. And I look out here, and most of it is probably bigger than this. So I think we're just at perfect time here. We're going to put the 2,4-D down. I'll probably drive a little slower through this particularly nasty patch of cocklebur to make sure it gets maybe just a little bit more love. And then we'll wait. We'll see how it goes. So let me go hop on the, I almost said tractor. I guess it is my tractor. Hop on the old four-wheeler and start spraying. All right. I did just finish the 2,4-D, and now I'm getting ready to give it a little food here. So we're going with the 1717. This is about an acre. I'm going to put down 200 pounds. on Browntop Millet. So we'll see how that goes. I did look around, and anywhere between like 180 to 250 pounds. I mean, the range was kind of wide what they recommended. I didn't get a soil test. I know I should if I really want to know what I'm doing. And some lime probably wouldn't hurt. But for now, this is the first time we've done any fertilizing out here. I'm going to do 200 pounds of this 1717 out here. Soil is very, very dry. We haven't gotten any rain in about 2 weeks, and we don't have anything substantial for at least a week. There's like a 10% chance every day, but it's summertime in the south. There's a chance of rain every afternoon, right? So we'll see. I'm going to put this 1717 out and then head on over and work on something else today. So let me set you down, get this stuff in the hopper, and we'll get her going. So as you can see, it's a pretty good size pellets here in this stuff. Some of it's a little smaller, but pretty good sized pellets. So I'm probably going to have to open up the hopper bigger, obviously bigger than I did for the millet, which is a tiny little seed. So it's probably not the best thing in the world to be running your hands through that. But I'm going to open up the hopper on this pretty good. I got 4 bags I got to throw out here, so I'll put it down at a pretty heavy rate and get her done. All right, that gets us done for today. Pretty quick job, really, less than an hour. As you can see, I've got tire marks, and they go back and forth all the way across here. I mean, can't be avoided, right? I'm not going to go buy a $20,000 agri-spray drone to do this. But hopefully it'll come back. Gosh, if we got some rain, it would certainly help. But if not, I tried to stay in the same path from spraying and spreading fertilizer. Figure, you know, damage a small area completely as opposed to the whole thing slightly. And I think even, you know, if you look at the tire tracks, if it grows up all the way around it, there's going to be plenty of food out here. So that's it. Just to recap, I put half a quart of 2,4-D on an acre of this, and then 200 pounds of 1717 fertilizer. And this stuff, I know one thing I wanted to mention, don't go to your local big box store to buy fertilizer. They'll sell you 1010 for $25 for a 40-pound bag. I went to a little local place here near where I live, a little farm supply place. They sell fertilizer and live, you know, horse feed, that kind of stuff. I paid $20 for a 50-pound bag. Okay, so definitely seek out some type of farm supply house in your location, and maybe call around. I called another place where I bought some seed from in the past, and they were a little higher and farther away. And the cool thing is the place where I bought it is Carpenter Farm Supply, and right outside of Morrisville, North Carolina. Morrisville, not Mooresville, not over by Charlotte. They've been in business, family owned, since 1884, which I thought was really cool. So anyway, that gets us in today. We did some weed control, broadleaf weed control. We did a little feeding, and I'll come back in a week or so and we'll take a look and see how it's going. So, oh, and one last thing as well. I did not let her follow me around the field while I'm spraying the 2,4-D. Luckily, she will lay down over there in the shade if I tell her to sit and stay, and she watched me. I let her run around while I was throwing the fertilizer, but I did not let her out here while I was throwing putting out the herbicide. So just kind of keep that in mind. It's probably best to keep that off yourself as well as your dog if they come with you, as Rosie always does. So that's it for today. Hopefully, cross fingers, we get some rain at some point in time, and before we know it, we'll be shooting dove out here. Thanks for joining. As always, I'm Bruce. That's Foul Play Outdoors.